Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be streaming some IL-2 Sturmovik. I'm a fairly big fan of the vanilla campaign, but the vanilla campaigns, as I've been running them, um, as you do better and better, you get pushed farther away. You push the front line farther away from your airbase, and then it takes longer and longer to fly out to the missions. So instead, I'm going to run a utility that makes missions that's called Pat Wilkerson's campaign generator. That's what we're seeing right here. It creates missions for the game, and then you load up into the game and you play them. Then once the mission's completed, you come back to the utility, claim your kills, and generate another mission. So I'm gonna start another mission here. Let's go mission, and it is a let's see, attack trains and rail facilities. They're assigning us 2 pilots. Let's see what the map is. Here is the AO. So in this case, it looks like we are going to be flying a little bit of a ways to get to the AO. But we can scrub the mission, go to mission again, create another mission. See if it gives us a new mission. Intercept enemy aircraft. So let's pick that one because we'll have guaranteed enemy aircraft to engage. Got a much smaller area we're going to be flying in, although we've got a fairly complicated path they want us to patrol through. Leave the waypoints as is. Let's bring 3 pilots. Standard payload. We don't need any more. We don't need any weapons on these aircraft or any ground attack munitions on these aircraft here. And then hit accept mission. It will generate a mission file for us. Just keep going. Come on. All right, the mission's made. So I'll hide that window and move back into the game. Go into missions, got Wilkerson's campaign generator. Then we've got this intercept mission. We'll hit start. Wait for the mission to load up here. So then let's set up our aircraft. We'll be flying out in a MiG-3. Hey, Ixie, how are you? For this aircraft, I always like to take the 2 BS 50 cal machine guns and then the 2 BK machine gun pods because I am really bad at aiming. We'll bring a 50% fuel load because this is a fairly short mission. And then the most important part is we got to pick our custom magnificent Kotobuki plane skin that I made here. And accept the loadout. Let's see, we've got our flight path. I don't have to really worry too much about the specifics of this flight path because I'll just be flying second. Then we've got our aircraft specs. Let's see if they tell us anything about the wind. I don't see anything about the wind direction, so we'll just have to figure that out in game. Start out paused. Make sure my throttle's back. Unpause. Me reset the zoom. Center my head tracking. Turn on my cockpit lights. I like to take off with the canopy open, just in case. Open the canopy. Check my water and oil radiators. I'll open the oil radiator to 20%. I'll leave the water one at full. Engine mixture to full. Propeller RPM to full. Hit the brakes. Throttle up. Yeah, there's a lot to do because on these aircraft you have to manage propeller, RPM. You have to manage fuel percentage, and then throttle. All right, so we're at 100 kilometers per hour. Let's get the nose down. That gives us a little bit more control authority, but the MiG is a real pain to take off with. Come on, come on. This might be really bad already. Of course. What the heck was going on there? It just did not want to get up to speed. We will just restart this mission. I am stuck in one of the more difficult airfields to take off from. The MiG-23 is not a kind aircraft. It is said that there are 2 points in flight that the MiG-3 wants to really kill the pilot, and that is takeoff and landing. It really has to buck around a lot to take off, and being on a grass field landing strip does not help that at all. Let's double check our setup. Our setup looks good. Accept. Start. All right, let's try this again. Make sure everything's set up for takeoff. Hold down the brakes, get the throttle up. Okay, now we're going a bit faster this time. I'm giving this thing like full left rudder and it really does not want to handle nicely. All right. This airfield is really not good for MiGs. Right, let's get the landing gear up. Let's get our engine back into continuous mode. Get it to 50% engine mixture, which puts it into an automatic mixture control. Let's get this canopy closed. And we'll form up on our leader here, although I'm not particularly good at formation flying, so it's going to be a very loose formation here. But yeah, there is a lot to control on these aircraft, but which is really why there's a lot more people who like to fly German aircraft in this. The German aircraft have an engine computer. It's mostly a mechanical computer that manages the radiators and everything. Reminds me, I gotta get my oil radiator in. Down here, this red dial and the dial above it is the engine oil temperature, and the green one is the water temperature. And I'm coming in too fast over my leader, But yeah, the German aircraft, they handle all of the radiator opening and closing based off of your speed and engine settings and engine temperatures, which makes them very convenient to fly, so you just have the throttle to control. All that, and I think you've got a pitch trim. You don't even have a yaw or a roll trim on the BF 109s. Gotta stay kind of in a loose formation. One of the other things I kind of like with this Pat Wilkerson's campaign generator, the AI aren't really set to be in super tight show formations. And I personally find being in a really tight formation is bad for my situational awareness because I always have to keep eyes on the other aircraft in the formation. Alright, let me get my pitch trimmed out so I'm not pulling on the stick the whole time. A little too much trim. I'm losing speed, so let me put on boosted mode, catch up with these guys. The AI has no reservations about using boosted mode like all the time. And we've got a little bit of a crosswind, so I gotta use some rudder. The other thing I really appreciate about this campaign generator is that it sets the AI to fly at good altitudes. Because the vanilla campaigns, you always end up flying really low, like 3,000 meters or less. Or really, actually, it's more like 1,000 meters or less. So you never get your, you never run the oxygen system or anything. And you rarely go above the clouds with that. Alright, we're closing on them, so I'm going to put the engine back into continuous mode. Try to bank a little bit to the right so I don't come up too close to them, and I'm going to overshoot them, aren't I? Let's pull up a bit. Do a turn. They're below me, so I can't see them. Let's do a wider turn to try to get them back into view. There we go. Go back into boost mode. Yeah, because the AI is really kind of annoying in formation flying in that they'll switch boosted mode on and off all the time, and you can see that they're in boosted mode by the black trails coming off their aircraft. Because in boosted mode, your engine is running in full rich. Let me get my aircraft trimmed out again. I'm pulling on the stick for too long. There we go. We're getting some turbulence here. We're under a pretty big dark cloud. I really hope they're not going to fly us into this cloud because that's going to suck. Got this climb marker here, but doesn't look like it links to anything else. Oh, it's going to have us turn 180. Got a wind off of our left, so I got to use a little bit of rudder, although it's not a very consistent wind. They're starting to turn. Did we really have to climb into this thundercloud, guys? Let's use a bit of time acceleration to get through this climb. God, we're going up into the cloud. Gross. Although I think this is one of the few aircraft I would like to actually go into a cloud with on the Soviet side, because I've actually got a turn and bank and pitch indicator here. So I can actually see how my aircraft is, the attitude of my aircraft in this aircraft. Yeah, because without that, you'd have no idea what your attitude is at all. All right, we're finally breaking out of this cloud. Strong winds now. A lot of rudder to compensate. Since we're climbing, let's drop the engine propeller RPM. Should give me a bit better of a climb speed. I don't really want to leave the engine on boosted mode this whole time, so let's take it off. Oh, and our map's starting to show us a whole bunch of enemy aircraft flying around. Flying to our first patrol mark. This is going to be probably a pretty boring flight. Maybe I should just make myself the flight leader and make the AI aircraft follow me into the fray. Not back into the cloud. Engine temps look good. Let's take a closer look. Probably close the oil radiator just a bit. Water radiator. so disorienting. Let's drop back into 1x speed. I am really banked over. There's no way I'd be able to stay in this formation without these markers. Finally clear of this cloud, at least part of it. Now, the clouds in this game do look beautiful, though. They recently revamped these. A little bit of right rudder for this crosswind. Actually, it's a very slight amount. A little bit more throttle to keep up with the formation. And we've got the next marker here. I think if we, or no, the whole cloud is right about there. So we're going to be going back into this cloud after a couple turns, which is kind of pointless for the purpose of a patrol. We should be going over the cloud. I might just break off and fly over the cloud, because it's not too entertaining seeing me fly around with a gray screen and look at instruments. My oxygen system even on? I normally get a message for that, and I don't know. I didn't see it, or I didn't catch it. We're pitched a bit too, or trimmed a bit too high, so let's trim that down. You want to know what I'm doing for some of the various controls. There's tech chat on the right, those three green symbols that'll pop up whenever you're changing certain systems. That lets you know that the game is actually changing them. Just like here, if I hit the canopy open button, it tells you that you're opening the canopy that has a delay. And on these aircraft, you sometimes can't actually open it above certain speeds. So I do typically like, at least when I play multiplayer servers, which is pretty rare, when I am playing those, I like to open the canopy and leave it open most of the time, because these don't really provide any ballistic protection. Alright, so some interesting facts about the MiG-3 while we're waiting. MiG-3 is an early war, World War II Soviet aircraft. It was kind of the only high altitude offering they had, but because the Eastern Front primarily consisted at lower altitudes, like we're getting really high up right now because we're almost at 4,000 meters, but most of the combat takes place under 3,000 meters because that's where the ground attack aircraft were flying, and most of the time you were escorting them. But the MiG-3 actually had a supercharger that could give it pretty decent performance at higher altitudes. It would be on par with the Bf-109s of its day. Maybe just a little bit behind in certain aspects. But the aircraft ended up getting discontinued because it has really poor ground handling capabilities. When you're on the ground with a tail wheel, if you use more than about 50% rudder, the tail wheel starts to get turned, which causes you a lot of problems on takeoff, because you need more than 50% rudder to keep this thing straight on the runway during takeoff. So now you've got your tail wheel unlocked, flopping around and causing you all sorts of headaches while trying to take off. And that becomes even more of a problem on unpaved landing strips, because this aircraft pretty much needs paved landing strips to take off and land well. wet, so I'm going to close the canopy. And of course, we're in a cloud, so we've got turbulence. You can't really see. You can't really see it because you really wouldn't be able to see turbulence effects too well. But you can see in my turn and bank indicator here that ball's moving all around. Coming up a little fast on my my two wingmen, so I'm going to slow down, use throttle a bit. Banked over to the right quite a bit, so let's correct that. I think they're turning now, so let's try to turn with them. I'm getting pretty close to this guy. Barely see anything in this cloud. Make sure I'm gonna not hit them. Okay. Let's go with some time acceleration while we're in this cloud. All right, we hit our waypoint, so we're going to be turning again. Let's just take a quick look at the map. All right, after this turn, we should hopefully be out of this cloud. And it looks like there's a whole mess of enemy aircraft out there for us to fight. We'll see what they are. Hopefully they're not BF-109s. I did a test mission with this game and this mission builder before I started streaming. And I had a pretty good mission. I shot down one BF-109 and a pair of Ju-87 dive bombers. So that was some pretty good luck because there weren't really any fighters around to take shots at me. I think that's probably one of the few missions where I've done air combat and haven't gotten hit. I'm not exactly a what you'd call good pilot, but I can fly. I forgot to correct my propeller RPM after that climb. No wonder I'm being a little slower than these guys. Making a right turn. Make sure I stay clear of the left wingman. Pull a little harder. Last thing I want is a mid-air collision. Now, while the difficulty settings I have in this aren't the ultra hardcore realistic, they'll show me where I am on the map. But it is something that is a little fun to do in this game is to do ground attack missions and have it where you have to navigate by looking just down at terrain features and go, oh, hey, there's this loop, this specific shaped loop in this river, so I know I'm roughly somewhere around there. Let's take a look at our temps. Our temps are nice and low, so we can close our water radiator a bit and our oil radiator a bit. That'll get us a bit more speed. Try to catch up with our allies. If my allies don't go after these guys when we're on that leg, I'll just fly off on my own and try to take care of it and see how that goes. It'll probably go horribly, though. Alright, so more fun facts about this aircraft. The MiG-3 is not an aluminum-bodied aircraft. Those are actually aluminum-bodied aircraft are actually really rare in Soviet service in World War II. So the engine and basically everything in front of the cockpit is aluminum, but the wings are all plywood and other like fabric for the tail. We're getting too close on this guy. Let's try to dodge and bring our speed back up to catch up. Alright, so we're now approaching the last turn in our patrol. Another thing I can try if these missions aren't too entertaining is I could do some of the scripted campaigns, because I have a couple of them, but I haven't actually played any of the scripted campaigns, so we'd be going in completely blind. Now there might not be much going on, but I do kind of just love looking at the clouds in this game. They're so well done now. Before they were really flat and boring, and now they are really rivaling Microsoft Flight Sim's clouds. Let me just get a screenshot of this, because it looks good. Alright, looks like there are no enemy aircraft. Damn it. Alright, let's do something stupid. Still see those few enemy aircraft, so we'll see if we can't try to catch up with them. I don't really want to finish this mission empty-handed. It'll be a great 30-minute waste of time for everybody. A little bit of time acceleration. I think we lost them. Yeah, there's nothing flying up here. Alright, some engine boost, try to catch up with our wingmen. You know, this is where I was, or where I am still worried a bit about trying to stream flight sims because you get missions like this where it's boring, there's nothing really going on, and there's nothing to talk about. Just, oh, look at the pretty clouds, not much else. Let's see, they made that attack. What is this blue mark here? Huh. Alright, so they want us to land from that direction. I might just fly straight in so that way I have a bit more. Excuse me. I might just come in straight because that way I'll have a little bit more field to land at. I'll close the canopy, get the engine back onto continuous mode. Might not even be able to close the canopy. Oh, no, going slow enough. Are you guys really, really gonna fly back into this cloud? Really? I'm gonna not fly into the cloud. Smell you later, nerds. Let's try to. I need to adjust my bearing a bit. All right, I see the airfield now. It's actually a lot closer than I thought it was. Gonna need to lose a lot of speed before I can land. Coming in at about 500 kilometers an hour at the moment. To lower gear and flaps, I need to be under 300 and open the canopy as well. Usually it's about 300. I should have left the canopy open because that would be causing me a good bit of drag and help me slow down. I can do some tricks to slow down that aren't exactly good ideas, but swing tail out to the right, swing out to the left, swing out to the right, just increase my AOA so that I'm dragging a lot more. Let's get the canopy open. I'm gonna have to turn anyway, so let's just go make a turn, try to lose some altitude. Let's apply a bit of power to try to keep us over 250. Actually, I should just dive more. Leave power at idle. I'm gonna put the mixture to 100% just in case I have to go around, so I have that power available. And I'm gonna start dropping flaps to help me slow down a bit more. My flaps aren't actually going down at the moment because I have to release the the flap adjustment button before they deploy. But once the flaps hit 100%, I'll release the button and they will deploy. Alright, so we see our airfield there. Actually, I think I want to swing out a bit to the left. Alright, our flaps are going down. We're going to have to apply some throttle to keep that up, or keep our speed up. And then let's drop our landing gear because we're below 300. It's going to mean we have to apply more throttle to keep our speed. Gradually bank over to the right. This is a beautiful runway we've got here. Let's make our own runway. Let's see, what is it? Runway 13, 14, runway 14. We're coming in at a bit under 250, which looks good. Slow down a bit more. Let's trim our aircraft out so we're not pulling on the stick. Need a lot of pitch trim to do that. Apply a bit more throttle because we're about to dip to 200. We've got a little bit of turbulence, which is going to make flying this landing not as fun. Less fun than usual, but the landings in this aircraft are never fun. A little bit less throttle. A little bit less throttle. Let's pull up to flare. Try to get in our 3-point landing position. We're probably going to bounce. Actually, this might be a smooth landing this time, for once in this aircraft. Oh, we bounced. Come on. Stay down. Pull the stick back firmly. Try to not do ground loops in this aircraft. Use a little bit of braking. Alright, let's try to get us off the runway. Not that there is really a runway, but just us out of the way. And let's retract the flaps. It's just going to take forever. Well, actually, they're down while the flap limiter is adjusting, so they are down, but I got to keep the flap limiter adjustment button held down to keep them up. And we're good enough out of the way. Alright, finish the mission. Sucks that one had nothing going on. Alright, now I gotta go back to the campaign manager. Finished. Combat report. Continue with claims. No, none. We didn't shoot at anything. Skip the debrief. Alright, let's do another mission. Patrol, nope, scrub mission. Do another mission. Let's see, can I do a mission with a roll? Interceptor. Generate. Nope. Fighter. Let's just take a look at what the map is on this. Okay, so that might be a little bit better. Skip the waypoints. Pilots, same pilots that we had before. We'll accept the mission and generate it. I think I'm the flight lead on this one too. All right, we can go back to the game. Let's go to the next patrol mission. I would think that the intercept mission wouldn't be so boring because you're supposed to be going up to intercept specific enemy fighters. We had a nice loading screen of ME-262s there. The ME-262 is very realistic in this game. They gave it the best throttle option that the ME-262 has, and if you proceed to throttle up too fast, the engine bursts into flames. It's a beautiful aircraft. Kotobuki skin, drop down to 50% fuel because we really don't need that much fuel. Let's take the gun pods and the 12.7 machine gun, and good to go. We're going to take off, fly, and direction, and start. Pause, instrument lights. Let's open canopy. Engine mixture to full, RPM to full. Is there anybody in front of me? No, because I am the lead ship. Let's get our water radiator and oil radiator set up. Alright, hold down the brakes, throttle up. Come on, aircraft take off nicely this time. We're at 100, let's get the tail off the ground. Come on, play nice. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I hate these field takeoffs. You gotta just pull hard. Pull hard. Pull hard. Pull hard. This is not gonna go well. God, this airfield is awful. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can't freaking get us a better mission. All right, so let's make a new campaign. All maps. Next step. Start date. Okay. Fighter. Okay. Just gonna make myself the leader pilot. Let's see. 11th Fighter Air Regiment. Oh shoot, they're in lag threes. Let's go. Uh, they're in MiGs. They're in I-16s. P-40s are too temperamental for me to play with. Let me pull up a map so I can see what airfields we're dealing with. Let's just go. Let's hit mission, map. See what airfield we're at. Okay, so we're actually at a paved airfield here. So we'll actually have a takeoff run we can use. Scrub that mission. Let's do another mission. Track back trains escorted by P-40s. That's interesting that the P-40s are the escorts. Let's go to map. On map, load. Okay, so we're going pretty far behind enemy lines in this one. Waypoints, let's go with those. Only 2 pilots on this, but let's bring one more. We're going to be attacking with rockets. All right. Oh, accept the mission. I'll get to try to remember what buttons are firing rockets in this. Okay, I've got it on my control sheet. All right, so we got ground attack mission. We're loading up on 2. We've got some P-40Es in the loading screen. I like the P-40s, but unfortunately in this game, the P-40 has engine specifications according to the manual, which says, oh no, if you run the engine for like more than 10 minutes at maximum, it'll explode. And the devs just say, that's fine. That's what we're going to put in the game. Let's set up 50% fuel. Let's get our, I can't get the gun pause this time, which kind of sucks. I'm going to have very limited ammo to strafe with if we do any strafing runs. Get our paint scheme again and get ready to go. Oh god, this is a night mission. Oh boy. Alright. Mixture RPM set. Oil radiators open. Brakes, throttle up. Pull up. Get the landing gear up. Engine off boosted mode. Let's check the map. Wants me to take off and then turn 180. Let's get our pitch trimmed out so we don't start diving. Alright, here's our mark we have to get to. What time even is it? Do I not have a clock in this? I don't think I do. Unless that's the clock. I think that is the clock. Alright, turn to the next objective mark. I think those are our P-40 escorts. Now that I've got planes, what are my controls? Tilde key, okay. Let's turn our landing lights off. Got more turbulence on this mission. Alright, we've rendezvoused with the P-40s. Let's move on to the next marker. Sucks to be you guys. You have to catch up with my formation flying now. Time is 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. We're heading south. The sun is to our left, so it is morning. Let's turn on auto level and I'll speed up time. Down to our ingress mark. So something that is neat in this game is you've actually got this backup sight. And if you position your head just right, it does work. There is a chance that you get your gun sight shot out, but I've never encountered it, and I've only seen one person post about it before. So we've got some wind and we're getting blown off course. All right, we're almost to the ingress marker. Let's get to our second marker. Got something burning over there. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to see our target with how dark it is. Right, so our target, let's try to look at the terrain around it and try to see how it's going to be. So we'll be able to turn ourselves onto the target by the airfield that's right here. I really hope that isn't an active airfield, because if it is, we're going to be flying right over flak to do this target. Oh, that is a whole mess of enemy fighters. Where are they? High to the right. Yeah, they are high up there. I hope these 3 P-40s will actually be able to do anything about it, but probably not. Normally it's the other way around. The P-40s are doing the ground attack, the MiG-3s are doing the air cover. This is a bit interesting. They are flying away from us. We got a friendly fighter over here. Let's fix our heading a little bit. Uh-oh, one of them is coming in on us. Him. Turn off auto level so I can maneuver if I need to. Oh, he turned. Let's fix our trim so we're not pulling up. Please don't see us. Please leave us alone. We're flying over 2 active airfields. This is just beautiful. I suppose I should have seen that in the mission briefing, but I didn't. And a manufactured foundry that's full of AA guns. But I don't think they see us, so they're not shooting at us. You got some aircraft over there doing some... Oh, no, that's our 2 allies. I thought they were aircraft farther away bombing something. Alright, we got an aircraft along our target approach right there. Let me confirm controls. Bombs, rockets. Why is that rockets and bombs? Well, I know 2 controls that are probably the rockets. I'll just have to hit them until I get the right control to fire the rockets. I don't really do a lot of ground attack in this game. It's usually ground attack is more of dedicated bombers doing it, and dedicated bombers are pretty much sitting ducks all the time. Alright, let's try to look out for our target. We see that airfield. And I think our target is right beyond it. We should be able to see some buildings for it here. So if I lost sight of that airfield. Oh, there it is. Okay, and our target point for final approach is marked. Let's get on that bearing. Let me check my engine temperatures. I can close the radiators a little bit here. Just a bit more speed. Target, I have no visual yet. Actually, I think I can just barely see it. Let's get our guns armed. Should also have my rockets armed now. So dark and hard to see anything, and then there's this turbulence, which makes it even harder to keep a still picture on something. Okay, I think maybe I can see it. We got a blue marker on one target. I don't know if that's an AA gun or what, but we'll find out. Leave the engine mixture where it is. What is that? I think that is our target. So let's Get aimed in on it. And nope, that's not the rocket button. That's the rocket button. All right, I don't think we hit anything. Let's go flight leader orders. Orders, attack the ground targets. We'll come around for a strafing run. It looks like that's a locomotive we're shooting at. Alright. And we'll continue the mission. Egress. Time accelerate to get through this. Oh, there's more things on fire over there. So there's those enemy aircraft heading back to their base. Wonder if they're actually heading to this airfield. If I had more ammo, I think I would try to intercept, but they're quite a bit above me. All right, let's look at our flight path. So we're heading to this marker. It's gonna send us around the other direction for a landing approach, probably due to the wind. Not that I know what the wind direction is at the moment. Got it. That. Just trying to Alt Tab and change some settings. Long flight back home. Got some enemy fighters out there somewhere behind us. They might be too far away for us to have markers on them at the moment. I think I might do a risky move and just try to land straight so that we get this mission done with faster. I think I'm gonna try to hit some public servers after this, see if we can get anything more interesting to do during this stream. As public servers, it becomes at least a little bit easier to do some missions, although it's going to be mostly ground attack, so I don't know if that's going to be too interesting. Or I can take another patrol mission from this. Downside of public servers is if any other players see me, they're just going to absolutely destroy me. Let's tell our flight formation to return to base. Can I see the airfield yet? Don't see it. Should be just across that river I'm looking at. I can barely see it. Let's go back into one time. Let's turn off auto level. I should probably get my feet back on the flight pedals. Now let's throttle back. Let's get our mixture to full. Let's prepare for a landing approach, although I probably should have been slowing down a lot earlier. Let's get the canopy open. Get the aircraft trimmed. Drop the flaps. I'm really going to need landing lights on this landing, but I can't turn those on until I'm done with the flaps because my finger that can do the flap button is preoccupied. Flaps are down. Landing lights. Landing gear. Get our aircraft trimmed for landing. I need to come left a bit to be on the center line. Need to add some more speed because we're dropping pretty quickly. Just a hair above 200 now. Come left a bit more. I think it's going to have me landing in a crosswind here. It's going to be stupid because the mission would have me landing the same crosswind from the opposite direction. A lot of turbulence throwing my aircraft around this mission. Throttle back to idle. Flatten the plane out. We bounced as usual. And we'll finish the mission. Go back to the campaign generator. Let's get that up in stream. Mission, combat report. Cancel the AAR because there's no point. Oh, I guess I have to do this. See if we can't get an interesting mission. Attack enemy armor, scrub mission. See what the map is for this patrol. That's not seeming too exciting. All right, I think I'm just gonna call it because this isn't gonna be. There's not gonna be anything interesting going on. I don't think. I'll see if I can run Star Citizen nicely. I think I gotta get my phone set up and running that, so running my face tracking so I can get the Live 2D to work. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next stream.